Hey, good morning, everybody. Another wonderful day, and this vlog is going to be a vlog, obviously, as well as we are working on phase 2.5, if you want to call it that, for Lebanon. So I am going over to a friend's house where I left my ladder. Just dropped off the little girl, and need to move her stuff out the way so I can put my extension ladder here in the back. I'm gonna leave that at Lebanon, and we're gonna hopefully get everything lined up, the TVs, run cables, do the SDI splitter and all this other stuff. So Anthony, if you're watching, here's exactly the diagram that I showed you that we're gonna be installing over here. So anyway, let's get the day started. Alrighty, we're here. We got the entire church to myself. That's why I don't have to wear a mask. I'm gonna get ready to clean my hands here. But let's go through the plan for today. They showed me how to get up under this floor here. Well, at least they think a way for me to get up under the floor. I do have a long sleeve shirt. It looks like we're gonna be army crawling or combat crawling, whichever. Almost like the length of the entire building to try and get up under here. What I'm thinking is I might actually avoid doing that completely. What I am thinking about doing, we have this cable that we ran here originally. I'm gonna run another cable down here. Need to get up in the attic, pull this back, and I need to turn these lights on here. But pretty much get inside of here, run a new cable, because my thought was if there's a straight shot, I was actually just going to drill a hole in the floor in the office, come up under the floor, seal up the cables, run everything in this direction, which would be a lot easier. But I need to tap into this anyway, because one of the monitors is going to be right here. So we're going to be running an SDI cable here. Pull that down, and I need to put a jack in the floor or something. But my thought was possibly to just put a conduit right here across the baseboard and run it all the way back and put all the cables there if going up under the floor is difficult. But we're gonna figure that out. We got everything else here. The other thing, we're gonna be installing one of the TVs right here. So I got my extension ladder. We're gonna be putting that up there. I need to know if they want me to move everything up there. I don't know yet, but what we're gonna do is pull some cable, some SDI cable. I'm gonna set up the two TVs temporarily, and then just make sure, get the SDI splitter and all this other stuff, that we get a signal on all the TVs first. I'm gonna pull a long enough cable for the TV up here, which is gonna go from here down to right here. So maybe 50 feet is over the top, but I think that's fine. 50-foot cable here, put a box up there ultimately to have everything connected to make it nice and neat. But after I eat my breakfast this time, we're going to hook up the TVs, like I said, test out a dry run of HDMI to SDI, SDI to splitter, splitter to the TVs. So let's go. All right, so we made our first SDI cable. I think I have another one already, but let's go ahead and let me take you off the mount here and take you along with me while we set this up so you can see how this works. So Anthony, this is for you. All right, so as you can see, we have our multi-view showing with the A10 Mini Pro, and we have a collection of things here. We have an SDI to HDMI, which is gonna go onto this monitor as well as the other two TVs. So we got two more of those. Then we also have an HDMI to SDI converter. Now you could get these with power supplies. I didn't, because the surge protector that we got has USB on it, so we can power it that way. Or this one can go to a plug if we need to. Now the other ones are gonna be pulling power from the, let me pull myself in a shot here. For the TVs, we're going to be using USB power from the back of the TV. So that's why we don't need a plug for these. And I think I'm one cable short. But I think I have another one in the car, so we can go with that. So here's a simple test of what we're gonna do. We're gonna disconnect the feed from the monitor. Do it the other way. Disconnect it from here. That's done, and we're going to use one of the SDI to HDMI adapters there, and we're going to have this pull power from the surge protector here. Alright, and as you can probably see, it's lighting up right there. It's getting power. So now we're just going to repurpose the HDMI cable that was connected to the monitor here. All right, so probably can't see it, but the monitor is lighting up because it is getting a signal. It's not showing nothing, but as you can see, nothing is connected. All right, so now we got to take the exact same thing and do HDMI to SDI. And where's my HDMI cable? I think I need to get one real quick. All right, now just in case, if you didn't have this will just work off any type of like cell phone USB charger for this, and I forgot I did have this in the box. So actually, I'm gonna use this one for the ATEX. My cable, plug that in. HDMI out. And I'm just going to use this short cable right now to simulate this because we're going to be hooking this up to an SDI splitter. SDI in, as well as testing the cable to make sure that this is working. This other one. It's not getting a signal, so it might be the cable. Alright, so let's try another SDI cable here. I forgot one of these was bad that I made, and that's the reason I thought I would throw it away, but obviously I didn't. We got our signal. So I need to flag this as bad cable, bye cable. And now this part works. What I'm going to do is unpack one of the TVs that's going to go back here, and I need to do a pass-through here. Because I was telling Pastor we could do a jack and everything up here, but he said he didn't want to. He wanted to do a pass-through. So I'm going to cut a hole that's big enough for a low voltage box, and then hopefully we'll actually measure to make sure there's no stud and go all the way through, and then put another one on the other side. I will come through. On this side I have a plate, a pass-through plate, so I can put here. On the other side I don't have another pass-through. I'll come back and do that, but that's not a big deal. Kind of like what we just did at Zion Chester. So yay. Well, actually, since I'm already here, let's do this. Because all of this is gonna go through an SDI splitter. So we wanna make sure this works as well too. So we're actually gonna test out the cable that we just made earlier. So this is just like an HDMI splitter, but it's just an SDI splitter. I've actually installed the bigger version of this, 2 of these at 5th Street Baptist Church. So pretty much one SDI in, then it goes to 4 out. So that's gonna be the 2 TVs, one back here, one in the front, and then the secondary monitor right now. Now, for those who ask, this is the AJay Mini Pro, which gives us multi-view, but once we connect this, they will not use the multi-view because whatever is shown right here is gonna show on the other monitors. We're not gonna do that. If they want to switch it the other way, we can, but what we're gonna need to do is have a computer stand in between and use the USB out from this into like OBS, vMix or whatever, and then do a full screen, which pushes to that. We did that at First Baptist Church in South Lynchburg. I do that when I use the teleprompter in front of my camera, something like that. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so let's plug this up. Going into the input, and I guess this is a bad angle because y'all can't see what I'm doing. All right, so we got the SDI cable in. Power is on. And this is the SDI cable that we just made. Test to see if this one is working. And this is most likely the one that's going to go to the monitor, the TV that's going to be hanging right over my head. Boom, there we go. So this cable is good, that other cable is good. Now the only thing else we need to make are, we need to make another cable that's gonna go to this display as well as the long run for the TV that's gonna go up there. So, yay. All right, we got just got the first monitor that's gonna be here in the front with TV connected, letting it do its little setup. I did run an extra long RG6 cable. Already have it connected to the splitter here. And I ran a long enough one because I just don't know the distance, because ideally it's gonna hang from right here, probably go up under the floor, come all the way up, then go back up there, and then meet over there behind that pillar where the media booth is. So worst case scenario, I can always shorten it. I'd rather have the cable be longer than needed than it to be shorter. Then I gotta get some couplers and all this other stuff like that. But we're skipping through all the rest of this TV setup. There we go. Yay! So we got this going on. So this cable is good. So if we shorten it, we should be fine. But that's good that we're actually getting something. All right, now I actually already put the mounts on the back of this TV too. I need to find some studs over here. I think that's honestly brick, which actually might be even better, but we're gonna probably do that tomorrow. I gotta rinse and repeat and move the table because I'm gonna put that TV right about there. The other one is gonna go in the back. So, yeah, we're making good progress so far. I don't know if they have the camera available for me to get. I should have brought my other camera to hook up there so I can just see what it looks like and take some pictures and send them to them. But let's go ahead and set this other monitor up just to make sure the cabling is fine, because I think that long cable I've made actually is gonna go for this TV instead, because that's more than enough, long enough cable for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and set the other TV up. And then I'm actually gonna, while I'm here, I'm gonna run some Ethernet cables to the other computer rooms, pastor's office, the children's room, and some other places while I can, and then just connect everything that we can, because I doubt I'm gonna try and go up under the floor, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get under there. Let me knock out everything here, and tomorrow we're gonna hang it, the TVs, and hopefully that will be it. So, hey. Alrighty, so we got it set up. Actually, there was one problem. This was working, but the TV, the monitor back here stopped because the ATEM was set to auto detect. So it was picking up the 4K at 30 hertz. So it changed it to 1080p at 30 hertz, and this monitor didn't like it. So I had to go into the ATEM software and specifically set a resolution here. So if we go to the gear here, and you see here, I set it to 1080p 60, and now this monitor and the TVs will work. All right, so what I'm gonna do is probably set the other monitor back here, run another maybe 15-foot SDI cable here, set the TV up here so that I know that both will work. And that 15-foot, actually, no, I already have a 15-foot. I have to do that. I mean, make a shorter cable for the monitor and the ATEM since they're going to be next to each other. Set that up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off with this up here. What I'm going to do next is go and run the cables, the other networking cables, strap down the wires that I had up in the attic, get that stuff done, and then get all the other wiring done. Then we need to run, I'm actually going to run, I decided I'm going to run 4 Ethernet cables all the way over here so I can get rid of the cable that I have on the floor right now. I'm going to run 4 of them back here. One is going to be dedicated to the access point that I want to run separately over here for right now. And then we're going to have another 3 that will go to the ATEM, and then have 2 extra left over. Even though I have a hub that's gonna be back here, I'm just gonna have another one just in case. That will also allow me to get rid of needing the power brick for the access point, since it's just gonna be a straight run from there. And I can't find my cable cutters. I don't know if I left them at Zion Chester or something. They're not in my bag, so I don't know. I must have left them somewhere, but oh well. That'll be the second pair that I've misplaced somewhere. All right, so I extended the cable for one of the security cameras. And I'm getting ready to head upstairs, but I just got a message after sending a picture that they wanted some additional TVs hooked up, which I knew was gonna happen, but I didn't think they were expecting that today. So there's one TV, then there's one in the pastor's office, as well as one in the children's room. So that's 3 more. So I would need to replace the SDI splitter with a 1x4 with a 1x8 instead, and then also need to get an SDI to HDMI converter for every TV that we're using. So I'm waiting to hear back from that. But in the meantime, we're getting ready to go upstairs, secure the cables to these C-clamps, and start planning running cable to the other rooms. All right, and this is the reason why I try to be nice and respectfully ask people to stop blowing my phone up. If I respond to you and say that I got my hands full, please stop blowing my phone up, because my phone went off and I took a chunk out of my thumb. So my phone is going on do not disturb, block, all that other good stuff. So I need to find some type of Band-Aids or something around here to kind of patch my thumb up. All right. We got a lot of our stuff tacked down and organized. We need a couple more C-clamps to get everything straight, but all the cable is up off of the floor, except for right here. The white cable is what we have running over into the sanctuary, so I need to disconnect that. And the blue is going to the access point that's on the ceiling. So I need to disconnect that re-terminate those so that I can run them through the hooks and get them up off the floor. But like I said, I'm gonna come back. Thumb is kind of strapped down, but not hurting, just a little sting. So I want to be light with that. Now got to plan how to get cables over there, and then most likely what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to run, at the same time I'm running the cable over to the sanctuary, I'm going to run an SDI cable back this way as well too, and most likely get a different splitter, another SDI splitter, put that over here, and most likely maybe mount that inside of the wall plate, the rack, the networking rack, and then run all of the distribution to the other TVs from there. I think that might be easier to do. So let me get down out of here and go from there. All right, so we had a little change of plans, or most likely it was just a misunderstanding on my part. We need to connect 3 more TVs. So we do need to connect this one in the pastor's office and one in the kids' room. So the good thing is these have already been connected with coax cables. So technically, I really just need to run one cable, re-terminate the cable that's already connected over here, convert that into a BNC connector, then put a termination on each end of these, convert those to BNCs, put the adapter from SDI to HDMI. Technically, that should work. So what I'm gonna do is see where I can find where that cable is, terminate that, connect it, and then pull one of the adapters off of these TVs, hook it up, and just see, because the first thing is, this won't work if these TVs don't support 1080p. So let's go ahead and play around with this one and then try and chase where the coax is. I think I know where it is, but I might not even have to touch that. I just need to, since the cable is already ran, that's in the top of the media booth, and I already have a cable that's terminated with one end is an F connector, the other one to a BNC connector. That may save us. And then I just need to make a couple more cables like that, and then this could be a job that they do themselves. So let's go. All right, pleasant surprise here. These are already BNC cables. I just don't know if this is RG5 or RG6. I really hope these are RG6. That would make this easier. But hey, at least we're halfway there. All right, so this is the cable I said I had. This is the leftover one I had from church, where it's BNC connector here, and then F connector on this side. Now, one thing, this is the connector that was already on the back of the TV, and it looks like it is a RG6. My only concern is I'm wondering how this was hooked up, because this was converted over to a RCA adapter that was going into the back of the TV. Well, we'll figure that out. Let's go upstairs, find out where this is, and this might make this super easy to do, and I don't really need to run cable. Hopefully I don't. All right, thankfully, this one does work, but the TV does not have a USB on the back, so I need to actually mount this on the back, and thankfully there's a plug right behind the TV, so this one is going to have to be plugged into the outlet. Not a problem, but I need to now test and see. There was a T splitter up there that was going in 2 different directions, one going to this TV, the other one was going the other direction, and it was just giving me a whole bunch of bad static. I disconnected it and connected this one directly here, so the line that's here is coming from back there somewhere. Hopefully there's not a splitter right here that's trying to do anything, but if it is, we could mount a SDI splitter right behind here and feed over. We just need to see, do we get a signal anywhere else on the other TVs? Because then if it does work, then we don't really need to do anything. I was really concerned. I thought I was gonna have to pull some more cable, which would not have been fun. All right, so I'm here in the children's room, and it looks like that splitter might be going up here. So let's see. Let's find out what we can do to get that working. I might have to just get a different splitter, or like I said, do an SDI splitter there. I might actually move the SDI splitter there and just see, do I get a better signal because that might work, which would mean I need to order another SDI splitter. I could probably just take the one that's from church for right now at my church, and then just order another one, and maybe that will get us past this part here. All right, I forgot that the SDI to HDMI has an SDI loop out. So this is the connector that was on that bridge. So now let's see, do we get a signal from there? Because if that's the case, no splitter is needed because we're sending that signal back. I have no idea how the signal is going to the pastor's office. All right, so we still don't have anything on this side. So we got to find out what that cable is going to upstairs. All right, we have another dud. This cable does not go to anything, so got to figure out what to do with that. Also, because of its mounting, the HDMI won't work, so thankfully I have a right angle adapter. Let's go ahead and put that on there. While I'm thinking about it, and then we need to trace these cables to see where they're going. Yeah. So I haven't even had a chance to crawl up under the church yet, but I know I'm gonna need to do that. Need to do that soon because I'm running short on time. All right, so we found the one that goes to the pastor's office, which is right here, which most likely this is the one that's going to the children's room. Disconnect that one. And now we got to find where this cable goes. All right, so similar to the one that was in the wall, the problem is this T-splitter ain't nothing to this. So what I need to do is somehow get power up here, and then I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, because we need to have a powered splitter up here. The only other thing that could be done is run 2 additional cables and extend this all the way back to the TV and put the splitter there. So the splitter will go to the TV in the fellowship hall and these other 2. That might be the easier thing to do, because technically all I would need to do is, well, this one is already connected. Run another extension from here all the way back to that place. Oh, and see if we can get all the way back over there. That might be the easier thing to do. Still never even got a chance to check out running the cable. So technically right there leads into the sanctuary, and that's the back wall, I mean the front wall, right above the pulpit. So I'm gonna have to come back again for that. If I could do that, run the cable from here, because that's where all the cables are coming from. If I can run those up and over and there and find maybe like come down the wall, inside the wall somewhere, that would make that easier. Well, we got some contingency plans. Either way, if not, then we got to come over to here. That's where that other cable will come. So we would have to run another extension cable all the way to here, to that wall. So let me actually go ahead and do that now, because I can re-terminate that to an F connector, connect those together, run this cable over here, put a BNC on the other end, and then run the splitter there. Yeah, I think we might do that. All right, I think we made up our mind that we're really not gonna run anything up under in the crawl space, but I need to eyeball it just to make sure and confirm, because I think we actually have a much easier plan to run and maintain than to run everything up under here. So let's go. Now I must admit, for the extra cables that I need to run into the other rooms, I might drill up under here. I think it might be easier to do it that way. So yeah, and there's a light all the way over there. All right, so you can see that's crawling space, and that's quite a ways. So am I gonna pull cable in that direction? Absolutely not. We're not going in that direction. So let's get back from up under here. Woo! And we'll go from there. All right, so we gotta get some more stuff. We gotta get some pass-through plates, 2 of them, just to be sure, even though I have one. Get 2 pass-throughs for the HDMI and power. We need to get maybe another 100 feet of RG6. Need to get some couplers, F connectors or BNC couplers, either one. And I think we kind of made the decision that not going to go up under the floor. We're going to be too much of a pain to try and get up there. So what we're going to do is get a conduit, run it up against the wall and that back part, and then on the baseboard, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna talk to Pastor about that, and I think that's about it. Let me go ahead and shut this down for the day, because we've had a full day and my phone is blowing up like crazy. And anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow on day 2 of phase 2. Later.